Hello everyone. The painting today will be one of a ladybird on a rose, painted in acrylics. It will be on multimedia paper with a weight of 300 GSM. I find this paper very easy to handle, and it handles all water media very well, including watercolors and gouache. So I'll see you in there. I started out with the ladybird shape and have started to put in the black spots to start with as the foundation to the painting. This will be where our eyes will alight when we first look at the painting. The red and black will show up against the pastel colours of the rose. And will make it dynamic looking. So I start with a fine brush, put in the detail of the legs, and then I've decided to go on with the leaves. This video is on a time lapse because there's a lot of detail and it proved to be a long video to make, so I had to cut out a lot and speed up some to make it a reasonable period of time. Otherwise it would be just looking like you're watching paint dry. Excuse the pun. So now we've got the stalk already in that holds the rose up. The ladybird's finished and is already the star of the show. Of course, not forgetting the thorns. And next comes the green of the leaves And the soft green is a good contrast to the red. A very natural looking green that complements the rest of the rose. There is of course a highlight on top of the Ladybird where the sun is shining. So the leaves are starting to take shape now with their veins and serrations along the edges, and not forgetting the shadows underneath the flower. It's a very delicate job. Of course, I'm using a very fine brush. Being an A4 piece of paper and a small subject requires some delicacy, and so I'm putting in the pastel colour now of the rose, so that will show up against the red of the Ladybird. I'm trying to get the correct colour for the rose buds above, and putting in the stamen heads around the Ladybird. I wanted to do this in real time so that it just shows you the finesse it takes to do all the detail. It takes some patience and requires just a fine amount of detail to put everything together. Now I'll put in the shadows of the rose petals. And I want to make the background stand out from the rose itself. I feel that the original colour didn't do that, and so I'm giving it a bit of a boost. Now I'm just putting in the stamen there to support the wee flowers. And finishing off the background, which will give it a more of a contrast to what it had before. It's a subtle colour, but it proves to be useful, and it all blends in well. So now I'm removing the tape after finishing the picture, and I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll catch up with you next time. Goodbye.